Hey friends, Melanie from Onward here. Welcome to the Mount Adams trailhead. We're in the Adirondacks today with 570 days left until I set foot on the Appalachian Trail. I'm getting ready to start my hiking day. It's 11 miles of training today, 2 mountains, Mount Adams and Vanderwanker, which is a funny name, but anyway. So you're catching me live today, coming from the trunk of my car while I'm getting ready to get my shoes on, my boots, and I have my pack here. So yeah, today's a Q&A day. Yay! I had 5 hours of a car ride to think about all of the questions that I've been receiving, and I really want to address the one that's been popping up the most, and that is, aren't you afraid? And like, even at dinner the other night with a friend, they asked me, are you afraid of anything? What are you afraid of? Tell me what you're insecure about. So that's what today's video is going to be about. So let's talk about fear for a second. Fear is false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Yep, I got that right. So a lot of fears are just in our head, right? I've had this lifelong mantra that I'm not afraid to be afraid, and I do things anyway. So I'm responsibly risky. Of course, I'm a little bit practical too, but I'm definitely willing to get out there and do what feels right and do what feels good, while being afraid while my heart's beating really fast throughout the whole process. So of course I have fears while I'm out on the trail, and of course new fears are going to arise while I'm in training to hike the Appalachian Trail, and then whole new ones will come about when I actually do hike the Appalachian Trail. So it doesn't surprise me that people are asking, aren't you afraid? That's the number one question that I'm getting. Are you doing this alone? Aren't you afraid? And so just to show that I indeed am sensible and that I have fears and I'm not this crazy lady that's just out there with a crazy idea, I do have normal fears. I'm going to lay out my top 5 fears, the things that I'm afraid of currently while I am going through all of this training process to hike the Appalachian Trail. They're going to change over time. But anyway, in no particular order, number 1, I'm afraid of myself. So there are parts of me that my friends will tell you are so do or die. I am very bullheaded, in good ways, of course, very bullheaded, because I know that I'm strong and I know that I'm resilient and I'm capable in my body, I'm capable in my mindset. I can push myself a little bit further. I'm willing to test my limits. So that's a good thing, right? Like it's a motivation. It's going to get the fire under my butt lit and I'm going to go for it. But when I'm calling on those reserves, going on like a 16-mile day with thousands and thousands of feet of elevation gain, let's add in some snow, let's add in some ice, let's add in a severe thunder and lightning storm, or I feel an injury percolating. My fear is, will I push myself too far? Will I make a critically detrimental decision? Sometimes I have to have a really deep conversation with myself right on the trail and figure out if I'm doing the right thing and what my limits are. Will my desire to be limitless while I'm on the trail actually be detrimental? Huge fear of mine. And speaking of injury, that's number 2. Not so much the getting injured, because I know that there's ways to recover. There's medical care, there's self-care, physical therapy, massage. There's all these things that you can do after you get injured to take care of the injury itself. And I know that I can get my body back into a healthy state of being. But the getting injured when way out in the middle of nowhere, on top of a mountain with no cell service, where it would maybe take hours and hours and hours for a rescue team to come to me to be able to rescue me. If I'm able to call for help, is there going to be self-service? Am I going to be laying someplace? Am I going to be conscious? That's a huge concern of mine. I carried this, I don't have it right here to show you guys, but I have this Garmin device that looks like a little walkie-talkie that I can put on my pack, and all I have to do is press a button, but what if I can't do that? So I'm definitely afraid of getting injured to the point where I can't call for help in time. There's nobody else around and I'm way out there. Hopefully I've told people where I'm going for the day. Okay, number 3, my third fear is I'm afraid of imposter syndrome. So I'm afraid of getting through a lot of training, putting my body through things, feeling super good, downsizing my life, changing my living arrangements and my involvement in my business, and then setting foot on the Appalachian Trail and going a few days and then realizing I can't do this. Or worse yet, doing it successfully every single day, getting out there and going, when's the other shoe gonna drop? When am I going to fail at this? When am I going to have to quit? Can you imagine waking up on the trail every single day and thinking that even though you're doing it, you're not doing it well, you're not going to finish, you're not going to do it well? That would be an awful mindset to carry around throughout the training, and to be, you know, even if you finish, like it feels like just such a waste of energy and time and thought process to feel like an imposter even though you're out there. So I'm actively figuring that one out while I'm in training to make sure that I'm staying in the moment and living my best life with a positive mindset versus feeling like I'm not a real hiker. Yeah, imposter syndrome. Ugh, gross. All right, fear number 4 is people. I love people. I love people. I don't like people. People scare me. So I can prepare for weather. I can prepare for rough terrain. I can have all the right gear for anything that's going to happen. I can prepare for wild animals like bears. I have a bear canister right here in my trunk. I can navigate. I can have maps. But what's the most unpredictable thing that you're going to find on a trail? People. So I'm a woman. Unfortunately, enough said. And last but not least, let's bring it down a notch. Let's be a little bit more funny, even though it's not a funny thing. It's called the hiker's waddle. So, you know, you're finished with the trail, you're taking your boots off and you're kind of walking back, and there's like this stumbling back to the car or back to a lodge or back to a hostel or whatever, you're wherever you're going to end up for the night. Ow, 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 ow. So the hiker's waddle is caused from chafing in the nether regions. And it sneaks up on you. By the time you realize that it's happening, it's already there and there's nothing that you can do about it. Chafing is happening anywhere where there's moisture and parts are rubbing together. It's going to be on fire. There is absolutely nothing you can do once it starts. So, hello wind. We're going to let the wind have its say for a second here. Beautiful fall day. Anyway, with the chafing, a lot of Vaseline will be in my pack no matter how much it weighs, because Vaseline on the chafing, gone overnight. There's a trick for you, hiking trick for you. All right, there you have it. That's the top 5 things that I am currently afraid of while I'm in training to hike the Appalachian Trail in June 2024. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Bye.